So it's kind of a large adjustment to go from through hiking to normal life. And so what I'm doing in transition is I'm getting really into birding, because that way I'm connected with nature, and I'm not really like that into exercise, just like running on a treadmill. So the way I get exercise is by being outdoors. And when you are birding, it's kind of like a hunt. You're like hunting for all these new species to add to your life list. And it's pretty exciting. I'm looking at some cameras today. I live in this neighborhood that has this nice wooded area with a kettle pond, and it's kind of a bird hotspot, and it's only like a 5-minute walk away from where I live. And so far I've seen quite a few species here, including a eastern screech owl, which was pretty neat. But I'm going to be seeing a lot of species here as the ice melts, and some different types of ducks migrate through here. I've already seen Canadian geese and sandhill cranes in the kettle pond. And I have an app that lets me identify by sound. And I haven't seen them yet, but there's a brown creeper here, which is a bird I want to add to my list. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I figured I'd make another little video for all my followers, which I really appreciate, even though there's only like about 80 of you. But I really appreciate all 80 of you guys following me. And so I thought I'd put out a video just to kind of catch everybody up with what I'm doing now. It's very camouflaged. So what did I tell you guys? Look, some sandhill cranes checking out the kettle pond. Beautiful animals. So it doesn't maybe look like much, but this kettle pond is pretty cool. There's lots of birds here. There's about 3 Canadian geese kind of tucked in here. Looks like they're picking around the mud looking for stuff to eat. But this is going to be a birding hotspot in a few weeks when all this ice melts. Right now there's tons of birds here. There's brown creepers somewhere. My app picked up their calls, but I couldn't find them because they're really tiny. But I've seen an owl here. This is going to be a neat place, and this is only like a 5-minute walk from where I live. So here is a big tom turkey. Big old tom turkey. There he is, big old beard on him. He's kind of scared now. Here is a flock of turkeys. A really big flock. A lot of turkeys. They're very impressive. This one's kind of mean mugging me a little bit. He's kind of squaring up on me. He's a little annoyed at me. They're like, don't even try me, because I'm not in the mood today. I got a lot of bugs to eat. here to kick ass and eat bugs. And I can't see any bugs. It's kind of cool. There's really quite a few turkeys here, like 30 of them. They're just so camouflaged. Very, very, very camouflaged. They are. These are urban turkeys. Oh, they're just kind of hiding out in the bushes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. So here's kind of a Mexican standoff with a couple pairs of Canadian geese. They don't like each other. I guess they know how much habitat is here to raise a brood of young. And they don't like the other pairs horning in on their territory. But I guess somehow they don't see themselves as competitors with the sandhill cranes. So these two pairs of geese have been fighting on and off. Carrying on. I think they scared away the wood ducks with all the commotion. But these cranes are pretty peaceful. So here's some wood ducks. They like to stay close to cover. Looks like there's a couple pairs. There's a mallard kind of hanging around with them. Wood ducks are so pretty, and they're found in wooded areas all over. Whoops! Something triggered them, so they took off. So I guess these sandhill cranes and these geese get along pretty good. They don't really mind being around each other, but you can't say the same thing for the geese. Geese don't like each other. I think they're competing with each other for nesting spots. So these sandhill cranes, I learned from some locals, yeah, they get mad sometimes when the geese act up. But these sandhill cranes have been coming here for 10 years. It's a mated pair, and they actually raised a gosling last year along with their baby. So I guess a goose made a nest and laid an egg in it, and then abandoned the nest, and then the sandhill cranes took it over, and they raised the gosling with their baby, which is called a colt. And they've been photographed several times walking around with a baby gosling, leading it around. So apparently they have a similar diet, so that the baby was able to be raised to adulthood. So the question is, does the goose, now that it's grown up, wherever it is, does it think it's a crane? So it's kind of interesting. But I'll have to look that up on Facebook. A lot of people posted about it, but they didn't say the exact location of this kettle pond. Big turkey. Buffleheads are a little closer now. I really love these birds. They're so cool. They're so pretty. They kind of seem feisty. They're little diving ducks. There's dabbling ducks and diving ducks. These are diving ducks. There's quite a few of these here on Lake Mendota. They just go down for dives. Pretty neat. But it doesn't look like it. There's no predators. He keeps looking around. He's like, nobody's here, but I'm just going to keep eating. Just going to keep pecking at this millet. Little fat song sparrow. He's just sitting there looking. He's like, everybody left. I don't see a predator. Too fat to get going. I'm just going to sit here. These guys like to hide. They're very hidey because they look really exotic and they're super shy. It's kind of funny. Like mallards are so common, they just stay right out in the open. They don't care if you see them. These guys like to stay hidden, these wood ducks. This autofocus is really not working. There you go. Seems like a lot of wood ducks. Okay, so there's 2 pairs. And then here's another pair. So there's 3 pairs. 3 pairs at least right now. They just kind of cruise around. I think the camera would figure out this is what I'm trying to photograph with the autofocus, but I guess not. Lots of frogs chirping on this pond right now. It's pretty cool. I don't know what kind of frogs they are. I would say spring peepers, but they don't totally sound like spring peepers. Because it's very early. These geese will fight anybody that comes to this pond, any other goose. They're just a goose pair, and they're getting ready to nest. And I guess this is just enough territory for 1 pair of Canadian geese, and they know that. And they just will throw down with any other pair of geese that comes here to try to nest. It's really something to see. I'm not sure how many pairs of wood ducks will end up here, but I always see more than one pair. And I know they are cavity nesters. They nest in hollow trees in nature, and then, wildlife people, Forest Service people, wherever you call these scientists that work with nature, they set up these nest boxes for them. But right now there's an owl in one of the wood duck boxes, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But they've definitely been in the area. See, here's two males, and then here's another male and a female. So they seem kind of mismatched. Maybe these are three males trying to court this one female. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sorry it's kind of shaky. I'm just holding my camera up. But these are just so beautiful, and they're just so mysterious. And I see them a lot now, so it's not that unusual for me to see wood ducks here. But it's always a very special experience because they're so beautiful and interesting. And they're just so different than mallards, even though they have some similarities. They are dabbling ducks, but they have kind of a point at the end of their beak, and they perch up on trees more, and they kind of move their head when they swim, kind of in a funny way. You just saw it there. And they're very, very shy, and they like the thick woods and the thick cover. So here is the wood duck nesting box, believe it or not. It's up here in the tree. And those, I don't know why it won't focus. This is annoying. But anyway, this is the nesting box. And it's up in a tree, which seems weird. If you didn't know about wood ducks, you'd be like, a duck would nest in that tree? In that box? They would. And they do that. And they're cavity nesters. And so this nesting box was designed for them. And they'll nest in there, and they'll have a bunch of babies, and there'll be little ducks in there, and then they'll have to, after they hatch, they all have to jump out and plummet to the ground, which seems weird, but they're very lightweight, so they don't get injured. But they just have to, the mother will come out, and then she'll call the young, and they'll chirp, or whatever they do, and they'll work up the courage to climb up and jump out and follow her into the water. And that's what they do. But an owl, an eastern screech owl, has taken up residence in here. You see him fairly commonly in there. I don't know if he's in there now or if he's down the bottom. But so I don't know if they're going to be able to nest in here this year. But there is another box on the other side that I think it's fallen into the water, so I don't think they're going to use that one. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all these wood ducks, if they're just migrating through or if they're going to be residents in this pond this spring. So here's the pair of sandhill cranes that nest here. They're pretty amazing. They're making babies. There we go. Not quite. Alright, well, just give you an idea what's going on here at the kettle pond. Is this courtship phase? I don't know when they're going to actually lay the eggs. It's late March. Going into the 24th, I think. But it looks like they're kind of pursuing each other. Oh. I'll have to look it up. Looks like he used to have antlers, maybe. It's a white-tailed deer. Definitely not a mule deer. Because his ears look little. But they don't have mule deers around here, but I used to live out west. So I'm used to seeing mule deer. But the whitetails are just a little bit more shy than the mule deer. They're a little bit smarter too, I think. And when they both live together, the whitetails kind of bully the mule deer, which is kind of funny. But if you get to know mule deer, they're not that bright, so it kind of makes sense. I think whitetails are at least a little smarter than the mule deers. Well, this guy's kind of cute. He's looking at me. He's like, what's this guy doing? Looks like he's filming me. And he's right where I was trying to walk. He's in the path. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna walk the other way, or is he gonna walk this way? I don't know what I think of this guy. He seems friendly, but people can be cringe. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this guy. See what he does. Looks like he's just gonna keep looking at me with his camera. Here's some red-winged blackbirds doing their thing. I'm not sure what the name of this pond is. It's like mowed like a golf course, but it's supposed to be some kind of preserve, so I'm not sure what the point of that is. There's no cover around this pond. It looks like not the most conducive to conservation, but maybe they know what they're doing. I don't know. There's a lot of places like that around Madison where they get all excited about preserving a place and then they just mow the shit out of it. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but there's a lot of wildlife here. This deer is my friend. He's very curious. don't know what it is about him. He just looks different. He's very cute. I see him a lot at this pond. I guess he's a thirsty boy. He has a weird look because I think he's a big young buck. And he has little dents in his head. He's something different about this deer. He's really cute and curious looking. He's got kind of an odd look to him. This is his pond and he likes to drink here. Just the cutest deer. I mean, I would eat a deer, but not this deer. He's like my friend. I hope he lives a long life. He is an urban deer, and they have to be smart about cars. He hears me talking, and he's wondering what I'm saying. But I'm saying happy things about you, buddy. I'm saying you're very handsome, and you have a unique look. This is the thirstiest deer I think I've ever seen in my life. He's okay. Very, very thirsty. He's been drinking for a half an hour. He seems like he's, I don't know. Might be not feeling well. I'm not sure what's going on with this buddy. Just been drinking water here. Maybe he's eating water plants or something. I don't know. He's kind of interesting. He's very stocky. He doesn't look skinny. A little concerned about this deer because he's been drinking water at this pond like all day. I don't know, he doesn't look skinny. Maybe he's sick. I haven't really seen him walk that far, so maybe he's crippled a little bit. I always see him hanging out by this pond. I wonder if there's somebody I could call. So this is where it all happens here. This is the Kettle Pond Conservation Park, City of Madison, where you have sandhill cranes, mallards, wood ducks, and all kinds of stuff. There are all these turkeys. Wow. A bunch of turkeys. Oh, they knocked the plate off. Aren't they funny?
This is so exciting.
It's like a safari.
That one just, I don't know, maybe they can hear.
Yeah, they think their hearing is really good.
Look at the feathers on that. He's got
Yeah.
the feathers down, halfway down his back, and then he's got different feathers sticking out from under there, and then different feathers.
Yeah,
And then the rest of him.
they're very colorful. There's a lot of activity here right now. So we got a red-winged blackbird kind of foraging, and then we got some geese kind of chilling out, and then we got some mallards. Where are they? They're around here. Oh, there's another red-winged blackbird. Where'd the mallards go? Where are the mallards? I think I know where they are now. The mallards. They're just kind of chilling. My stupid autofocus would work. Here we go, a couple mallards. And somewhere on this pond is a muskrat swimming around. But every time I point my camera at him, he hides under the water. So that's kind of fun. And the poor deer is no more, I think. He had a bad illness and he had to be taken out. It's called chronic wasting disease. It's really sad. There's a lot of activity here right now. So we got a red-winged blackbird kind of foraging, and then we got some geese kind of chilling out, and then we got some mallards. Where are they? They're around here. Oh, there's another red-winged blackbird. Where'd the mallards go? Where are the mallards? I think I know where they are now. The mallards. They're just kind of chilling. My stupid autofocus would work. Here we go, a couple mallards. And somewhere on this pond is a muskrat swimming around. But every time I point my camera at him, he hides under the water. So that's kind of fun. And the poor deer is no more, I think. He had a bad illness and he had to be taken out. It's called chronic wasting disease. It's really sad. This is the greatest pond. I mean, I just photograph these same wood ducks like every morning, but it never gets old. But maybe in a video it might get old, but man, look at this. Look at these wood ducks. I mean, look at that. This is unbelievable. This is just amazing footage every time. But probably if you're watching this, I don't know, would anybody get bored of looking at wood ducks? I never will. Say, sleepy a sleepy goose. The goose is sleeping. It's a sleepy goose. These geese are loud and obnoxious, but they're kind of cool too. They're just part of the flavor. It's been a crazy season. It gets cold and then ices up again. And then all the wildlife has to endure the cold for a while. The frogs wake up, the turtles wake up, and then they have to go back to sleep. And then the animals have to deal with the ice.